Ryan, have you finished the project I gave you a few days ago? The deadline is today and you haven't even given me an update. Are you going to turn it in today, or did something come up?
Sorry, Wendy. Something came up and I couldn't get it done in time. I'll need a bit more time until I'm finished with this.
Then why didn't you tell me about this? I can't let you keep acting like this. If you aren't going to be finished with work in time, you have to send me an update to let me know. This has been happening too much recently. Has there been something going on in your life? Just because your wife is the one receiving your work doesn't mean I can let you off easy.
One of my clients had some trouble they needed help with. I have my attention somewhere else. My whole schedule was messed up because of it.
Your schedule is your business. I know you're busy, but you didn't even send me an email letting me know you'd be late. And the company you work for has been doing business with my company for a long time now. I can't have you hurting the relationship because your work is coming in late. It doesn't reflect well on your company. My boss might start asking questions if you can get your work in on time.
Sorry. I know this isn't what you want from me. I'll try to get this in by tomorrow, okay? And I'll make sure that this doesn't happen again. I'll let you know if something happens, too.
Good. We both need to look good if we don't want any trouble. It's weird having you doing business with my job in the first place. People will start thinking we're up to something if we can't do our job right. I wouldn't blame them for asking questions either. Keep that in mind. We have to be careful if we don't want all eyes on us.
I got it. By the way, what did your boss have to say about my illustrations? I heard that she was glad with how it turned out.
It's true. She said it met his expectations. But that doesn't mean I can let you turn in work late. I'm glad you're doing well, but turn in your work on time, too.
Okay. I'll be careful.
Is there a problem with your schedule? Does your work keep you pretty busy?
You could say that.
Here, Ryan. I'll make dinner tonight. Consider it a favor from me to you.
Really? Are you sure that's okay with you? I was supposed to be in charge of dinner tonight. I wasn't expecting this.
If you're that busy, I want to give you a chance to catch up with your work. I didn't have as much on my plate as I usually do, so I have time to take care of it.
Thanks. It's a big help for you to do that. Sorry again about this. I didn't mean to cause you all this trouble.
Just know that we're in this together, Ryan. I want you to succeed as much as you want to. I want to be there for you. That's what it means to be married, after all.
It's funny, though. Our jobs are pretty different if you think about it. You also seem to be the one more busy with your job usually, too. You have all those projects to manage.
But you still have to work in an artistic field, which means you have to use your creative side a lot more. You probably keep busy even after work trying to think of new ideas for your designs. And your schedule is a lot more unstable than mine. You sometimes work a few hours, and other days you work more than I do. I'm just glad that you're trying as much as I am. I appreciate it.
I'm grateful for you too, Wendy. I'm glad I have someone like you to call my wife. I was worried that you wouldn't understand what I'm going through. But I know now that I should have known you'd know what it's like.
Is there something else you want to tell me then? I have a feeling you're trying to tell me something.
Well, there is something we need to discuss. There was a reason that I wasn't able to turn in my work on time today. You know my old friend Claire? She's been causing a few issues lately.
Claire? You mean the girl you knew when you were younger who moved away when she got married?
Yep, she's the one. She ran into trouble with her husband and it ended up with them getting a divorce. She was calling me and wanted to talk it out with me. The whole thing has turned her whole world upside down.
That's what's been going on with her. That must be tough for her. Was her husband not treating her right then?
That's a good way to put it. He wasn't the kind of person you wanted to find yourself against. He was the kind of guy who didn't even care about his family at all. And when she started looking into other guys and he found out, he chewed her out for no reason.
Wait, you said she was looking into other guys? Are you telling me that she was cheating on her husband?
I guess when you put it that way, she technically was cheating on her husband. But she wasn't at fault for doing that. She was put in an impossible situation and she couldn't choose anything but bad options. It's her ex's fault for treating her that way. She deserved to be treated with respect, not like nothing.
She might have not been living with the best of people. But I don't know how much that justifies cheating. Something seems wrong about it. I know she must have been in a dark place and didn't know who she could ask for help. But not asking anyone for help and instead cheating on her husband doesn't seem like the right choice to make.
It wasn't like she was trying to cheat. It was an accident that she got involved with someone else. But after things got more serious, she couldn't do anything but go along with it.
But it's not like she didn't have anyone to ask for help. She could have asked her family for help. Cheating on someone just because you hate your husband doesn't make cheating right.
You're absolutely right. But that's exactly why I'm so worried about her right now. She's already headed back home and tried to live with her parents, but her parents didn't like hearing she cheated on her husband. I would have hoped at least her parents would be more understanding of her situation. It's too bad, really.
Do you know exactly what kind of person Claire has been cheating with? You said she talked to you in depth about this. Did she at least tell you what her new partner was like?
Now, don't get upset about this, but apparently, it's with someone who's already married. But it's not her fault. She never knew about it before she started dating him.
That still sounds pretty problematic if you ask me.
I want to be more of a help to Claire, but there isn't much I can do. At this point, all I can do is lend a listening ear and try to give her advice. I've known her for a while now, and while she's always gotten herself in trouble, it's never been this serious. I just wish she could find a way to get past all this and start living a better life.
You shouldn't be too concerned about her. I'm sure she can handle herself. She has the power to choose her own destiny. You don't need to hold her hand when I know she's not a kid anymore. You're doing plenty by just listening to her. But it's up to her if she wants to change her life.
Are you sure I shouldn't be doing more to help her?
It's her life, Ryan. You can't make her choose to start making better decisions for herself. You don't have to take responsibility for the actions of your friend. So don't sweat about it. You just focus on talking to her when she needs it.
Okay, you're right. Sorry for bothering you during work. I should have talked about this later.
I was on lunch break. It wasn't a problem at all. Just try to focus on getting your work done and don't let Claire's situation get you down, okay? I just hope talking about it with me made you feel better about this.
I feel great. Thanks again for hearing what I have to say, Wendy. I'll make sure that I get my work done from now on. I'll try not to worry you with my work again.
Ryan, where are you? I thought you'd be home by now. Are you out doing something? I got back expecting you to be here, but you're nowhere in sight.
Oh, sorry, Wendy. I should have let you know about this sooner. I'm on my way back now. I was just helping someone out.
Just what exactly were you up to? You were supposed to be in charge of dinner tonight, but it doesn't look like you started that either. Did you forget about that? Or did something come up that made you forget about it?
Oh, about that. I was thinking about picking up something for dinner on my way back. Is that okay? Is there somewhere you want food from? Just give me the word and I'll pick it up.
How long is it going to take you to get back?
Oh, it might take me a while with how far away I am. I'll head back right now, so I'll be back in about 40 minutes. Just wait for me to get back until then.
That's going to be a while. Here, I'll just make something myself. I can make something simple for us to have. I should have it ready by the time you get back.
Oh, nice. I really could use the help right now. Thanks again for helping me out like this.
But can you at least tell me what you've been up to? You didn't mention you would be going out today.
Yeah, about that. Claire called me up and said she needed some help.
Claire called you for help? All the way out there? And you went there knowing how long it was going to take.
After she turned in the divorce papers, her husband kicked her out of the house. She needed a helping hand.
I see.
Hey, listen, Wendy. I was thinking. Do you think we could have her move into our place for the next little while? Just for now.
Move in with us? I don't know how I feel about this, Ryan. This isn't normal. I told you earlier that you should just be talking to her and that's it. This is a bit much.
But she doesn't have anyone she can ask about this but me. I want to help her.
Even if that's true, it doesn't change the fact this is strange. I hardly know anything about Claire. I've never even met her in person before. I know she's been a big part of your childhood, but that doesn't excuse everything. She was cheating on her husband, too. You can't say this was a surprise.
But I told you, she was never planning to cheat in the first place. It just got complicated.
It doesn't matter if it's complicated. The fact is that she cheated on her husband.
I can't leave Claire to die like this. I want to give her a helping hand. So please, Wendy, can't we help her out?
I know you want to help, but this doesn't feel right. If she was being abused by her husband and needed somewhere to crash, I'd be more understanding about it. But he hasn't done anything like that. And she chose to keep cheating on him. Just how long were you thinking of having her stay here?
Long enough for her to get over her past relationship and be able to move on. And enough time for her to find a job for her to support herself, too.
That sounds like it'd take more than a few days. Sorry, Ryan, but I'm not comfortable with this. I want to help, but this isn't the way to do it. If you want to lend her some of your money, I wouldn't mind if you did something like that. But I don't want you giving her anything that will cut into our budget. We can't spoil her.
I thought you were better than this, Wendy. But you don't even seem to care at all what happens to Claire at all. You're acting so cold-hearted.
Cold-hearted? What part of what I said was cold-hearted?
The part where you're fine with Claire being on the streets without anywhere to live.
I didn't say she deserves to be homeless. We can't be the only people she can rely on.
Don't you see the benefits of having her around, though? She can help around the house and even cook for us. She could be more of a help than you think. We're both busy with our jobs, so it'd be nice to have someone else to help with that.
We both may be working, but you do your work at home. I have to go to my office. And you usually work shorter hours than I do. I think you have enough time to take care of it.
It's true that I have more time than you do. But if I had Claire around to help, I could be even more productive during the day.
Aren't things fine the way they are? I don't see why this makes much of a difference.
If Claire took care of the housework, I could devote everything to focusing on my work. I could get much more done without worrying about the house.
Why can't you focus without her around? I don't get what you're telling me.
I've been doing about 70% of the housework and you've been doing about 30% of it. It means that I have to make sure to carry your slack if I want the house to not fall apart.
30%? Don't you think that's a bit off? I thought I was at least doing the same amount of housework as you were doing, Ryan.
No. If you saw what I was doing, you'd realize that I'm pulling most of the weight around the house. You're usually at work during the day, so you never get to see how much I do for you. There are a lot of things I do for you that you don't even notice.
I think I could say the exact same thing as you, Ryan. There are things I do that you don't notice, too. I know you want to help her out, but sorry, I'm not going to have her live with us.
But why? You still haven't given me a reason. Can't you just stay for a little while?
You say that, but I doubt she'd be around for only a few days. With what you told me, she'd probably be around for at least a few weeks. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not saying you shouldn't help her either. I'm saying that her moving in isn't a good idea.
But we're supposed to help people out when they're in trouble.
From my point of view, if I was Claire, I wouldn't be asking you if I could move in with you. You're already married to me, Ryan. And she's a recently divorced lady who's in dire straits. I want to help her too, but it doesn't mean I'm fine with her moving in like this.
I thought you would care about me and my friends, Wendy.
I do care. Don't act like I'm acting irrationally when you know this isn't right. If you want to help her out, find another way. I won't have her living here because she decided to cheat on her husband.
If that's the way it's going to be, then don't expect me to come back tonight.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I'm going to be out tonight to cool off. I'm too stressed out and upset about this to be heading home like this. Just have dinner by yourself.
Why are you acting like this, Ryan? Something's strange about this.
I don't want to spend the night with someone so heartless. That's all.
Ryan, can you explain to me exactly what you were thinking? You can't allow something like this without my permission. This is uncalled for.
You're talking about how I brought back Claire with me. God, can you give me a break about that?
I told you very clearly how I felt about the matter, and you still didn't listen to me. What part of I don't want her to live in the house with us did you not understand?
What did you expect me to do? You thought I'd leave her all on her own?
It's not like she's broke, Ryan. She could have at the very least stayed at a hotel until she found a new home. And don't tell me she had nowhere else to go. She has to know other people besides you.
That's so easy for you to say when you have a place to call home. Try to put yourself in her shoes. I bet you'd agree with me if you could see what it's like for her.
If she's already here, then I'll let her stay for a few days. It's too late for me to say no at this point. But I want her out of here by the end of the week. She's not staying any longer. I'm not putting up with her staying here as long as she wants. She might never leave.
Even after hearing the whole story, you still don't want to help her? You're so cruel sometimes, Wendy. Do you want her to suffer or something?
I don't care if she's going through a rough time because she lost her husband. She's at least partially responsible. I'm not going to take her side because she's sad. She chose to cheat in the end. If she wanted to start a new life, she should have divorced her husband and done things the right way, not the easy way. I'm not surprised her parents are mad at her. She could have avoided a lot of trouble if she only tried. And I know you care about her, but that doesn't mean you can have her stay here without my permission.
The past is in the past now. You don't have to dig it up for no reason.
But it's important to look at. If she's caused trouble with her ex-husband, she'll likely cause trouble for us as well.
You don't care about anyone, do you? Don't you understand that Claire is like family to me? I've known her for years now. Some people might not agree with how she handled things, but I'm not going to judge her. I'm going to always be here to support her no matter what happens.
I told you before that I'm fine with you supporting her. But when it goes too far and things like this start to happen, I have to start drawing the line. So don't expect her to stay here. She's going to leave after a few days.
If you're going to draw the line and stop me from helping a friend, maybe I'll have to draw the line too. If you won't let me help her, I might start considering divorcing you.
Divorce me? Are you serious?
This is how serious I am about helping her. You aren't going to stop me.
Oh, so this is how it's going to be, huh? I knew you were going to be stubborn about this, but I didn't think you'd be going this far. How about you do what you want, Ryan? But I'd be careful with your decision. After all, you might not have a job if you're not careful.
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means you won't be receiving any more work from my job if you're going to act like this.
That's blackmail. You can't do that to me.
Who do you think is the one that's blackmailing here? It certainly isn't me. You were the one who said you divorced me if we didn't do what you told me. Isn't that blackmail?
Work and divorce are different. You can't threaten my job like this.
The reason you have a job in the first place was because I had to pull a few strings in the background. You wouldn't have been hired in the first place if I didn't give a good word to my bosses. I'd rather not have my ex working with my company when it was difficult enough working with you when we were married. It'd be a lot less stressful not having you working with my job. Things are hard enough as it is.
That doesn't mean you aren't threatening me. This is still blackmail.
It's not blackmail. There was never an agreement for my job to work with you longer term. And you were the one who hurt our business relationship by threatening divorce. It'd be crazy to keep my ex hired for my job.
All I wanted to do was help my friend Claire. It was you who twisted this whole thing and made it more complicated than it needed to be.
Sorry for me not wanting to share my house with your female friend. You would think you'd care more about the feelings of your wife over a girl who you're only friends with.
Are you not coming back tonight?
No, I'm not. Not while you're keeping Claire over at our place. Is she there then?
She is, but that doesn't mean...
I thought I told you I wanted her out of there by the end of the week. I've given her plenty of time to get her situation settled and to find a new place to live. This goes beyond helping a friend, Ryan. You're choosing her over me at this point.
How many times do I have to tell you it isn't like that? Just so you know, I was thinking about telling her to leave too. I just wasn't able to. The trauma she has from her last relationship is too much for her right now. I can't make her leave.
The trauma that she caused for herself, right?
Wendy, it's not as simple as you think it is.
I don't need your explanations. I've heard plenty of what she's gone through.
Please, Wendy. Can't you just come back home? You don't have to act so dramatic over letting a friend live with us.
Maybe I will come back. But don't think that I'll be coming back to stay. I'm coming to pick up my things. Then I'll be taking off again. I'm going to be moving out. I've already found a place that I can move into for the time being.
Move out? What are you thinking?
Well, we're getting a divorce, aren't we? I can't stay in the same house if that's going to happen. So I'm going to take what's mine and get ready for the divorce.
When I said I'd divorce you if you didn't listen, I didn't really mean it.
So you're saying you only told that to me so you could get your way? So you could manipulate me? That's real nasty of you to do, Ryan. I learned from this that you aren't the man I thought you were. That's why I have no regrets going forward with this divorce.
You're divorcing me for no reason. Stop and think about what you're saying. And I don't want a divorce. I still want to be with you.
You can try to change my mind, but I'm not going to budge.
We can work this out as long as you give me the chance to, Wendy. I'll stop being late with my work. And if you want me to, I'll find a way to work that doesn't have us working together. I'll pay for everything that Claire costs us. I'll do all of that if you just give me time to.
You say you'll do all that, but you still aren't willing to make Claire find her own place?
That's something I'm not willing to do. She's in enough trouble as it is. If I were to kick her out, she'll have no one else to turn to.
There you go again, taking her side. If you care so much about her, how about you marry her? I'll turn in the divorce papers myself and you can live together without me getting in your way.
No, I don't want to live like that. I want to keep living with you. I don't want a divorce.
Then why did you threaten me by saying you'll divorce me if I don't let Claire live with us?
That was a bluff, and I regret that I said that to you.
You should have known not to say that. Threatening your wife with divorce is asking for trouble. Using my fear as your own tool to control me is something I'm not okay with. It made me lose my faith in you.
I know I shouldn't have said that. It was a simple mistake. But you can't tear our relationship apart over an accident.
What you're doing now isn't an accident. You're willingly having Claire stay over even though you know I'm not fine with it. Even if she doesn't realize how much I don't like this. You know very clearly that I was never okay with this. And her trauma isn't an excuse for her to start living with us. People divorce all the time but don't cause trouble for their friends. You let her overstep our boundaries even though I told you not to.
But her marriage was really rough for her.
From how I see things, she's blamed her husband for everything. She used that as an excuse to cheat. She only acted selfishly in the end. And she's still acting selfishly by staying with us when she knows you're married. She should know I'm uncomfortable. Who wouldn't be uncomfortable with another woman living in your own home?
That's not a fair way to put things. She has her hands full right now.
And so do I, Ryan. All I wanted was to have privacy in our marriage. But you put your friend first and let her into our own home. Do you realize how much I've been hurt by you having her around?
I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear your apologies.
Right. Look, I'll make Claire leave then. You won't have to see her again if you don't want to. That's what you want, right?
It's too late, Ryan. You went too far when you ignored me and let her live here.
But I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. I don't want us to be over because I took care of Claire. I don't know how I'm going to live if I don't have you around anymore.
Didn't you say you'll find a job that doesn't work for my job? I'm sure you'll find a great career that will let you and Claire live happily ever after. Didn't you say you were doing most of the housework too? Now you won't have to worry about me. You won't have me supporting you anymore, though. I tried helping you as much as I could, even though I was busy. I wanted to be there for you, Ryan, even when things got tough.
I'm really sorry. I'll make Claire leave if you'll come back. I was too focused on myself and didn't do enough to care about you.
I gave you plenty of time to change your ways. But all you did was call me heartless when I didn't want Claire to move in. I'm just being the heartless woman you said I was.
That was because I was mad. I didn't mean it. I know how lovely and kind you really are.
Then why did you call me that? But don't worry. You get to live with a new woman now. I'm sure she'll treat you so much better than I ever did. I divorced Ryan soon after, and we both went our separate ways. I really wanted things to work, but he was never going to keep his promises. I doubt he was ever planning to kick Claire out. He had to quit his freelance career and get a 9-to-5 job to make enough money. Claire didn't help around the house at all. She was just trying to leech off of Ryan. They had a terrible fight one night, and Claire decided to leave. It's too bad Ryan tried to defend someone's actions so much only for them to betray him. It's no wonder her parents didn't like her. She must have had a history of doing this. Living alone has been different, but it's nice to have the extra money and the freedom that comes with it. I took a few days off and went on a trip to get all of what happened out of my head. This whole thing made me realize it's important to value yourself. You can't let someone walk all over you because they demand to. You have to stand up for yourself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.
What are you doing now? Are you free or are you busy with something?
I've just finished doing the dishes and I'm going to do some cleaning. I seem to spend all day doing this kind of stuff. It's so tiring.
It seems to have taken you a long time to do these things. Can't you do them any quicker? Every time I ask you, you seem to be doing the cleaning or something similar. Last time I contacted you, you were cleaning the toilet. It seemed to have taken you the whole day. Why does it take that much time to do a simple task?
It just so happens that every time you ask me, I'm busy doing the cleaning. What am I supposed to say? You want me to lie and say I'm doing something else? I don't know why it bothers you so much. Who else is going to do the cleaning?
If you insist, then I'll just have to take your word for it. You're at home all day. You can get up late and then spend the whole day watching TV. Oh, what an easy life. I'm just jealous, that's all. I have to go to work.
I am well aware of this. I know what it's like to have a job. It was only 6 months ago that I was also going to work every day. Don't you remember? Then I got pregnant, so I couldn't work anymore. It's not my fault I'm at home all day. I have no choice. I graduated from university 10 years ago, and I've been working ever since. This is the first time I've had any chance to rest, so I guess I should enjoy it.
Okay, I understand. No need to be so sensitive over all of this. I was just asking, that's all. Honestly, I'm just a bit jealous that you get to stay at home. I just hope you could be a little bit more grateful to me. After all, I am supporting you while you stay at home.
I know that. Thank you so much.
I hope you're also preparing for moving house. We're moving in 2 days, so I hope you take this time to get rid of anything we don't need. Just keep the important things.
What do you mean moving? When was this decision made? You haven't even mentioned this to me, and now you just throw it into conversation? What's going on?
Sorry, I just didn't know how to raise the subject with you. Also, you always get overly emotional when we talk about things.
Well, why didn't you consult me about this beforehand? Do you really think this is a good time to move? What about my pregnancy checkups?
Don't worry, there's gonna be a new hospital that you can go to when we move. It's easy, you can just change and go to a different place. We're moving to my mother's house and I know the area quite well. There's a lot of places to go to get medical treatment.
Moving to your mother's house? What do you mean? You mean nearby?
No, we're actually moving into my mother's house. She has a big house with several spare rooms, so it's not gonna be a problem for us to move in there too. We'll have lots of space.
Are you really sure we're all going to fit into that house?
Yes, it'll be fine, don't you worry, there's plenty of room. Part of the reason is my brother, he got sick a while back, so the situation is a little bit bad. He has a 3-year-old son, but it's quite difficult to look after him due to his illness. He's living with my mother too, as it makes it easier to look after him and the child. I hope you don't mind.
So you want to move there too and help to look after him? Is that right? Can't your mother do it without us? I really don't think this is going to be a good idea.
God, why do you have to be so selfish? Why can't you just think about other people for a change? What do you think we'd do if you got sick? We'd all help out and look after you. It's what family are supposed to do. But you don't seem to care about anyone but yourself. We're always one big family, at birthdays, at Christmas, and also now, when people are in need. You can't just be family in the good times, you have to help out in the bad times too. Also, my brother made a lot of money for us before he got sick, so we owe it to him. My brother was always so generous with us, so I think we should help him now. Don't you even care? Don't you have any kind of desire to help? I really think you should change your attitude.
I do care about him. I feel real sympathy for him now he's got this illness. But don't you think it's a little strange that we all live together in one house? Why can't we just visit them on a regular basis and help out?
I don't think it's strange at all. I think it's quite normal, actually. Everyone else in our family thinks it's a good idea. Why do you have to disagree? Just remember that it's me who's paying for you right now. Where would you be without me?
I have been married for 5 years and I still don't have a child. I'm nearly 35 as well. The first time we tried to have a child, it ended with a miscarriage. This time we had a lot of fertility treatment and I'm really worried that something might go wrong again. That's why I stopped working. I didn't want the stress. I was worried it might interfere with trying to get pregnant. That's why I'm dependent on you, so don't try to use this against me now. You just throw this on me without any discussion or warning. How do you expect me to react? I'm also worried about getting along with your mother when we live together. What if we argue all the time? What if my stress levels keep going up? It wouldn't be very good for pregnancy, would it? Last time I spoke with your mother, I felt she was really trying to pick on me. She seemed annoyed that we hadn't had a child yet. I think she wants to put the blame on me. I've told you about this so many times, but you don't seem to want to listen to me or help me. Have you spoken to your mother yet? She's causing me so much stress. I feel like it's going to make me have a miscarriage again. I just can't take it any longer.
What's wrong?
You don't remember? I already told you. Can't you even see what's making me so upset? The first time, it was her pressuring me to have a baby. Then after the miscarriage, she was really not very helpful. I could tell that she thought it was my fault. Now she keeps comparing me to other members of the family. It seems like I'll never be good enough for her. I don't have a child yet, so I just have to stay at home eating and resting. She seems to be really annoyed about this. She's always making nasty comments and shouting. She clearly isn't happy about this, but what am I supposed to do? She's always finding things for me to do around the house, and even then she's clearly unhappy. She treats me like I'm some kind of servant. Does she think I'm retired and I've got nothing to do? Does she think that my only purpose is to serve her? I had a really good job before I got pregnant. I'm not lazy or useless by any stretch of the imagination. She's being really cruel to me. She knows my situation, so why won't she cut me some slack? Why does she insist on treating me as if I'm the housekeeper?
Don't you think it's natural that mother compares you to other members of the family? I think it's just what a mother will do. It can't be helped, so try not to let it get to you. My brother's wife is good-looking and nice, isn't she? And she's already had a child, so naturally, my mother's gonna be happy about that. She's also working full-time to bring some money into the household. That means there's also less chance for them to argue because she's always out at work. We've been married for 5 years and we still haven't had a child. And now all you do is hang around the house. It is inevitable that you'll clash with my mother. Just try not to let it get to you that much, and don't answer back. I find if you just agree with her and then get on with things, it works out okay. There's no need to argue all the time. If you don't want my mother to be so cruel, then maybe you should try become a better person yourself. When she gives you suggestions, maybe you should just accept them and try to move forward.
Just hang around the house? I'm not just hanging around the house. I am pregnant and I have to go to hospital on a regular basis for checkups. It's stressful enough as it is, and it doesn't need your mother making things worse.
Yes, I know that, but when you're not in hospital, you could do some useful things at home. I'm sorry that my mother doesn't like you as much as my brother's wife, but what can I do? Maybe you'll just have to accept it.
How can you say that to your own wife? Why aren't you taking my side in this? What I want from you is love and support, and instead you give me this. It seems like you like your mother more than you like me.
I think I'm only being fair. I think I agree with my mother on certain things. I can understand her feelings. It's almost like pregnancy is an excuse for you to stay at home and do nothing. Even if you feel a bit stressed, you should at least try to make it look like you're doing something useful. After all, you are staying here and not contributing anything financially. You also have to remember that my mother is going to compare you to my brother's wife. She goes to work every day and then she comes back and helps to look after the child. It's fair to say that she's a little bit more productive than you.
How about we get a divorce and then you can live with them without me? Would that be better? What kind of a husband treats his wife like this? Do you know how much this hurts me? Can't you even see what you've done wrong?
I've not done anything wrong. We are all living together here as one big family, and I have to take everyone's needs into consideration. You are just one of many, I'm afraid. You are my wife, but I still have to think about my mother too.
You're unbelievable. It seems like it's me against everyone else. No one is on my side, not even you.
I think everyone in this house would probably have the same opinion as me. It seems like you're on your own. I think we're lucky to have this chance to live together as one big family. I enjoy it, to be honest, and I know my brother is grateful for what we do for him, even if you don't do that much. Maybe you should stop trying to find fault with it all and be more thankful.
More thankful? What are you expecting me to do? How can I be thankful when your mother is so nasty to me? How would you feel if you were being compared to your brother? Wasn't he better than you? Wasn't he taller and better educated? Didn't he earn more money than you before he got sick? Why isn't your mother nasty to you? He's clearly better than you are.
You're right. He was always better than me. It was always that way since we were children. He got a better job than me, and he earned more money than me. He also got married before me and had a child before I did. It seems my life is just catching up with him. I've always been second to my brother, but now he's sick. I have to do a lot to help him. It's really sad for all of us. He was such a great guy and was doing so well in life. I felt guilty about it, but sometimes I compare myself to him. He was doing so well, but then he had a shortcoming. It was his health. I don't think it was his fault in any way, but his life has been sabotaged by the illness. I suppose I have something that he doesn't have, and I should feel lucky for that.
You don't seem to be very considerate about his illness. It seems like you're almost happy because now you're doing better than he is.
I think it's natural to compare yourself to others. Everyone does it. It's also natural to put yourself first. It is one of the basic instincts of the human race. If you don't like that, then why did you marry me? Have you ever thought about leaving?
Are you trying to get rid of me now? You want me out of your house and out of your life? Why should I agree with everything you say? Can't I disagree? We worked at the same company together for 10 years, don't you remember? Why don't I just leave and tell everyone what an awful and uncaring man you are?
Is this a threat?
No, it's not a threat. I just think it would be a happy end to this situation. Give me the money I put into the joint savings account and I'll be gone in no time if that's what you want. I won't tell anyone why we got divorced. I'll just leave quietly. I'll tell everyone I had a wonderful time living with you and your family, but that it just wasn't meant to be. We just grew apart, and it was time for me to start life afresh. I can walk away, and if I regret it, then I'll blame it on myself. It was my decision to go, not yours.
If that's what you really want, then I can arrange for that. You'll get $100,000 and then you can leave me. I'll be sad about this, but seeing as though you won't compromise with me and my family, I guess there's nothing I can really do. A woman in her 30s who can't have children and now she runs off. I'll give you the money as some kind of sympathy payment.
Really? Good. It'll be a dream come true for me. I can leave you and go and find my own place to live. I won't have to put up with your family pestering me all the time. I'll go and get the divorce papers tomorrow and we can call it quits as soon as possible.
Baby, we need to reconsider what we did. I know we argued in the past, but we can get over it. After you left, I began to think about you a lot. I realized that there aren't many girls in the world like you. We were meant to be together. I feel I was brainwashed by my mother. I deeply regret letting you go, and I'm hoping it's not too late to change things. Can't we just go back to how things were in the past?
You can't seriously expect to go back to the way things were in the past.
Yo, please don't say that. Can't we just make up and be happy together? I'm being deadly serious when I say I want to get back with you. I'm prepared to leave my family behind if it means getting you back. We don't have to live with them anymore. We can have our own place, just the two of us. I'll run away with you and never talk to my mother again. You'll be the only girl in my life. I'm not the guy that I used to be. I've matured into a better person, a person who can treat you the way that you deserve to be treated.
I think you could have done this a long time ago. You should have always put me before your mother. If you'd done that all along, then we wouldn't be in this situation now, would we? But you didn't think of my needs, and you left me with no choice but to leave you. You told me that your brother's wife was better than me. Why would you ever need me? It was so painful, and I don't know if I can forgive and forget. It's just not that easy.
I've already told you I can leave them behind. They are out of my life now. My mother desperately wants me to marry again, and there's no one I want other than you.
It feels like you're playing games with me. I think you only want me back because you can't find anyone else. Is that right?
No, don't say that. I really want to. We can put our money together and buy a place for ourselves to live in.
Sorry, I don't think we can do that. You gave me the money, and I have no intention of giving it back to you. I blocked and deleted his number and refused to contact him again. There is no way he's coming back into my life. I suspect he wanted to get back with me because he was suffering financially. It must have been quite hard on him after he gave me my money. I think he still had debts to pay and was probably struggling with them. Also, his mother was diagnosed with dementia and had to go to a care home. He couldn't live with his mother anymore, so it must have been difficult on him. The bills for the care home must have been really high. Maybe he even had to sell his mother's home to pay for it all. His attempt to get me back failed. My dream now is to move on and find a better man. I want someone who puts me first, someone I can enjoy the rest of my life with. Let's hope it comes true. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.